Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, lovers of freedom all over the world. Wherever you are joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that only gives you quality news and information. So, when you're talking about all the broadcasts, all the information, and all the news relating to the Biafran struggle, you are welcome to Let's Talk TV because here we they give you the news as it is hot. Now, straight to the issue on ground because this particular video, by the Prime Minister is a very critical one. It is a very critical one, and if you've actually been a student of Mazenam Dekano for years, you understand that these people do not just come out and speak. They teach you history. They teach you history. History of so many things, so many countries. Biafran history. And because of this history, you will understand the reason why they are doing what they are doing strongly. And you understand the reason why, you are not meant to call yourself a Nigerian. Because you don't have any relationship with Nigeria. If you've been going through, the history lectures of Onyendo Mazenam Dekano, you will understand some certain things about this Biafran struggle. The video you're about to watch is the video of a strong, powerful lecture from the Prime Minister himself, Mazi Simon եկPÁ. This is a very educative one. He went deep, to expose the secrets of ECOWAS and why they are working hand in hand with the Nigerian government to push terrorism in Biafran land. We're not talking about the terrorism in Nigeria. They can kill themselves if they want. Northerners can continue killing themselves. But you will see that ECOWAS is actually contributing to a large number in the insecurity that is happening. Watch this video, listen to this video from beginning to the end. It has different parts, and I'll make sure I play the whole part one after the other so that you will understand the point that he is trying to make. And I want you to go to the comment section and also give your own input. Let me not waste your time. Enjoy this video. I'll be waiting on the comment section.
Question: is Nigeria working for you? Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, knew the solutions to Boko Haram till he finally became president. He asked ex-President Jonathan to resign because of insecurity. He cried empathetically. He promised to end Boko Haram in 3 months. But now, he's telling us he's done his best to arm the military. Why isn't he resigning? Governor Fashola knew the solutions to providing stable power supply till he became Minister of Power, and darkness pervaded the land. After trying hard and giving excuses like he only plays a supervisory role, the ministry was assigned to someone else. Power grid, still they collapse. The NSAS protests were tagged insurrection. In fact, someone said Aisha Yusufu ought to be in jail for instigating violence. Then farmers were beheaded in Borno. Same person asked Aisha Yusufu to lead a protest. Aren't these people supposed to forbid hypocrisy? Is Nigeria working for any Nigerian today? From leaders hoarding food for the poor, receiving kickbacks from government contracts, to farmers needing permission to go to their farms. Is Nigeria working for you? Why is Zamfara's gold for Zamfara and Niger Delta oil for Nigeria? Why is Hisba destroying alcohol, but their state governments receive federal allocation from monies received via taxation, including tax on alcoholic beverages? Why are some federal roads abandoned to bandits and kidnappers? Who is in charge of Nigeria's security? The president is talking tough this time. Most times, he's as shocked by the rest of us by the absence of good governance under him. Regardless of his campaign promises and the manifesto of his political party, Nigeria has rolled back in terms of development. From Naira continually losing its value to our recently launched locomotive trains breaking down in the middle of nowhere. Nigeria has to be working for some people though. The government can do no wrong. To this set of people, their money isn't being stolen, even if the money is being borrowed, leaving debts for their own children to pay in future. Even if the leaders don't use public institutions, from sending their children to Ivy League schools abroad to getting medical treatment abroad, some people who have nothing and we need to donate money for their medical bills if they have a serious ailment, continue to hail the obvious lack of good governance till Nigeria happens to them. Then they get a little pissed. May Nigeria never happen to you. Say amen. We deserve better than the political class who go home with millions monthly to represent people who can't even afford to feed themselves. I am Olajumoke Alaode James. Nigeria is not working for me. Is Nigeria working for you?
Yes, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. As you all know, we have been battling with the system, but I think we are good to go. Welcome to this program on Voice of Biafra 97.5 FM. Welcome to the Enter Biafra channel 1 and 2. And we are not going to waste time. We have to start immediately because there is going to be a very hot exposition this evening. Some of you don't know the reason why we must exit Nigeria as soon as possible. I want to tell you today that we are making progress. We are making tremendous progress. And whatever you see in the street, we have actually banished them. The ban of Ebubago is in force. So if you see them anywhere, you don't expect that after the banning, they should just disappear from the street. No. They are not going to disappear without the way we were handling them. So if you see them anywhere, you just exercise patience. You will see them no more very soon. So as we continue the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria and preparing to make sure that we don't allow any Nigeria election in Biafra land come 2023, because we are not sending anybody to contest election for Biafra. We cannot exchange Biafra for Nigeria. We cannot exchange our freedom for Nigeria. We cannot exchange our freedom for anything. So, and I want to make it very clear again before I start the broadcast today, that under no circumstances would Simon եկPÁ go into discussion with any politician in Nigeria. Never. I can never go into any negotiation. I can never go into any discussion with anybody, not P2B, not anybody. The only discussion I want to have where Nigeria will be involved is during the referendum. The discussion is on the ballot box. On the ballot box. And if that discussion is not possible, then we are going to have discussion by the time we have redeclared Biafra in 2023. Because by then, we are going to be open for those who want to talk to us, those who want to speak to us. And we want to send a message to the Nigeria government. There is nothing in this life that will stop this Biafra from being redeclared in 2023. I am telling you the fact. Go and mark it. Nothing will stop Biafra from redeclaring their independence in 2023. No amount of helicopter you will hover over the Biafra air, no amount of armored tanks, no amount of killings, no amount of attack, no amount of intimidation that will make us not to redeclare Biafra in 2023. And let me tell you, after the declaration of Biafra, after we must have redeclared Biafra by 2023, it is going to come and it will be a shock to you. Those Thomases, it will be a shock to you and a shock to the world. It may not be a shock to the world because some of them know what we are going to do. Some of them know that they have come to realize that we actually know our right, and that's exactly what we are doing. But I have come this evening to tell you what is going on that you don't know. Yesterday, I played, the audio and the video I have been playing for a very long time. Because when things are happening, we will come to begin to connect the dots. So I want to begin by playing this video so that you know where our exposition today is coming from.
The federal government, led by the Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazo, met with the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria in Kebbi State.
The federal government met with the Fulani terrorists in Kebbi State. The federal government was represented by Dambazo, General Dambazo, Dabruba. I want you to listen.
Of 100 billion naira over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting
General Dambazu, acting on behalf of the Nigeria government, offered the terrorists 100 billion naira. General Dambazu, who was then the interior minister, offered them 100 billion naira to stop killing for 2 years. So it is like 2 years contract. It is like 2 years contract. They offered them 2-year contract to stop the killing of Nigerians. But the question you should ask yourself, those killing Nigerians, were they actually killing Nigerians because they want money? The answer is no. The question again you should ask is, will giving them money stop the agenda of conquering your land and Islamizing you? The answer is no. Another third question is, will they collect money to trade their religious and jihadist war? The answer is no. Another fourth question is, will 100 billion naira paid to terrorists to stop killing for 2 years? What happened then after 2 years? What happened after 2 years is what you are seeing today. They have used those money to arm themselves, and today they are more sophisticated than the Nigerian government themselves. That is exactly what is happening. So there is no rationale behind what you just heard, that the Nigeria government offered to pay, and they paid 100 billion to terrorists. Now, when they offered this amount, the terrorists rejected it. They say they must pay them 160 billion. Now, this 160 billion, what it means is that the terrorists are with the government. The government knows who the terrorists are. The terrorists know who the government are. And for them to accept that give us money and we'll stop killing for 2 years means that you no longer have to look for who is killing you. You no longer need to look for who are the terrorists. You no longer need to look for who are the AK-47 carrying Fulani herdsmen, because they are negotiating with them and they said, give us 150 billion and we will stop killing. I want you to understand that. They identify them. They agree that give us money, we are going to stop killing. And this particular issue, nobody from international community have addressed it. Nobody have intervened. Nobody have sanctioned Nigeria, that Nigeria are openly offering 100 billion to terrorists, and no international community have offered for any help to intervene and sanction Nigeria. Nobody. It is on record. Whether they come to deny it is a story for another day. But I'm telling you now that not the United Nations, not America, not European Union, not Russia, not Asia, not China, nobody have cautioned Nigeria that why did you offer a whooping 100 billion to terrorists to stop killing for 2 years? So does it mean that Nigeria lifespan is 2 years? What then happened after the 2 years have elapsed? And of course, I don't need to be asking because this happened over 4 years ago or 3 years ago. Today, the result of 100 billion naira is we are seeing it. I want you to take your calculator and convert 100 billion naira to dollar so that you know how much we are talking about. Do you understand me? Now, let us continue.
Over 2 years to stop the kidnapping in the country. The meeting lasted over 4 hours on Friday as negotiations dragged on, with the association initially asking for 160 billion naira. The minister said that the strategy was part of the steps needed to tackle insecurity in the country as prescribed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The heads
The ministers say that paying money to these terrorists was prescribed by the ECOWAS, Economic of West African State, or Economic Community of West African State, whatever the hell their names is. So they prescribe that this government should pay money to terrorists to stop killing for 2 years. And that is why we are here today, to tell you the things you don't know about the ECOWAS. You understand me? Now, I want you to understand that we have told you many times about the Abuja Declaration of 1989. Abuja Declaration of 1989. It involved taking over African countries and converting them to Islamic State. They passed a resolution that every strategic position must be given to Muslims in those countries. So first of all, I want you to let us go briefly to the Abuja Declaration, and then Abuja Declaration, and then after that, for you to, let us lay background. I'm going to do this thing very, very quickly, because this Abuja Declaration is something that we have actually we've made teaching on this for a very, very long time. Abuja Declaration is the name frequently given to the communique issued after the Islam in Africa conference held in Abuja, Nigeria, between 24th and 28th November 1989. The conference was organized by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC. I don't need to go into telling you what is OIC. OIC was when the Organization of Islamic Cooperation that Babangida registered Nigeria, and they are pumping billions and billions into that organization. At the time, called Organization of Islamic Cooperation Conference, and it agreed to set up Islamic Africa Organization, IAO. Okay? And they have what we call the declaration. The declaration was the effect that Muslims should unite throughout Africa The curricula at various educational establishments should conform to Muslim ideas. The education of women should be attended to. The teaching of Arabic should be encouraged. And Muslims should support economic relations with Islamic area worldwide. If you listen to some of them, they tell you Islamic Bank, Islamic Bank. The emergence of Islamic Bank and the giving loans to all these governors, all these stupid and the idiotic governors from the southern Nigeria, and they are taking loan from Islamic Bank. They are all, tools being used by this Islamic Bank. Now, it is part of the Abuja Declaration of 1989. I want you to understand that it is already here. We're going to be busting them up. It's noted that Muslims in Africa had been deprived of right to be governed under Sharia law, and they should strengthen their struggle to reinstate it. The Islam in Africa organization was formally established in July 1991, also in Abuja, and it has stated its objectives. Now, you don't want to understand, what you don't want to know is the agenda of this particular Abuja Declaration. The only agenda is to make sure that all strategic positions are over by the Muslims around Africa. Now, having, giving you this about the Abuja Declaration of 1989, about Abuja Declaration of 1989. I haven't given you this particular background. I want us to go to the ECOWAS. And I'm going to, bring to you also the ECOWAS. What? Let us go to the wiki, even though it is not like very official. But let us go to the Wikipedia and see what we have about ECOWAS. Now, when you look at ECOWAS, this is ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African State. The Economic Community of West African State, also known as whatever they call them in French, is a regional political and economic union of 15 countries located in West Africa. Collectively, these countries comprise an area of this and that. And then, of course, the population is this. Consider one of the pillar region bloc of the continent-wide Africa Economic Community. The stated goal of ECOWAS is to achieve collective self-sufficiency for its member states by creating a single large trade bloc. By building a full economic and trading union. The union was established on 28 May 1975 with the signing of a Treaty of Lagos with the stated mission to promote economic integration across the region. A revised version of the treaty was agreed and signed on 24th July 1993 in Cotonou. The ECOWAS also serve as peacekeeping force in the region, with member states occasionally sending joint military forces to intervene in the bloc member countries at times of political instability and unrest. Now, do you understand the objective of the ECOWAS? Okay? Objective of the ECOWAS is what I've just read out to you. Now, the ECOWAS from the video you're listening to prescribe that the terrorists should be given money, 100 billion. 100 billion. And the terrorists demanded 116 billion. Now, if my voice is not okay, go and change your Chinese phone. Some of you are using Chinese phone. Some of you are the criminals, are part of the criminals. They send you here to come and distract us. Go and change your phone. Let those people buy you a better phone so you can have, at least you can do your job very well. Now, we continue. I know the people that will tell me that the voice is bad and I will listen to them. Not all these Achikote Ekuonu, Uzoma and Co. Right. So as we continue, I want you now to listen to the to what is going on within the ECOWAS. Okay, within the ECOWAS state. Now, having understand, if you have come to understand what the agenda of ECOWAS is and all that, and let us go now to the website of the ECOWAS and see what they have for us. The website of ECOWAS. The website of the ECOWAS, as you can see, ECOWAS have, the new president is here, and now what are the sectors of ECOWAS? You have the energy, you have the telecommunication, you have the health and social affairs, you have agriculture and environment, you have water, you have trade, ICT, infrastructure, civil society, political affairs. There is nowhere in this sector of the there is nowhere in this sector of the ECOWAS where you have in the sector of this ECOWAS that you have the security, the security sector of the ECOWAS. There is no security, sector of this ECOWAS. Like you see, they say it is about trade and economic development. Now, how come they tell you that, they can be member state of ECOWAS can bring military when there is crisis and all that, and then how can ECOWAS also prescribe that Nigeria be giving money to terrorists up to the tune of 100 billion? Do you know why? You don't know. Now, let us go to the reason why the ECOWAS will tell Nigeria to give money to terrorists. Okay? We are going to go to the reason why it is like that. Now, I want you to understand that you need to let us go through the countries that made up ECOWAS, so you will understand the 15 countries that made up ECOWAS, and then you take a very deep, understanding of what made us those countries, and who are those controlling the affair of the ECOWAS. Now, going by this name of these countries, you have, country like, one moment, you have country like Cape Verde. You have country like Cape Verde. Cape Verde, if you go to a country like Cape Verde, you find out that Cape Verde is doing a very marvelously, in the economy and all that, security-wise. They are doing very well. People go to a holiday in Cape Verde. They have a tourist zone, and that's where Oshimole's wife, come from. Oshimole's wife come from this Cape Verde. Cape Verde is very close to Spain, if I'm not mistaken. So this country, for example, I don't know, this and they speak Portuguese. So this Cape Verde is a very nice place, where Oshimole went and hijacked the wife, and he's making wave in the media. So if you go to Cape Verde, you are going to find out that Cape Verde are mostly Christian. They are mostly Christian, and that's why you see there are they are doing well. They are doing better than most of the countries here. They are doing very, very well. So let us look at what is the religion of this Cape Verde. Their religion, if it is here, it is mostly Christian, Catholic. They are mostly Catholic. So the history is here. Let's see where the Catholic is. I think they mentioned something like Catholic somewhere. We're going to check that, Catholic or Christianity. One moment. But anyway, just that we don't, because we don't have to go into these details and all that. But I think if you have time, you check and you see how many the percentage of Christians in Cape Verde, you are going to understand what I'm saying. But however, when you look, you find out that Christianity, is higher in number in Cape Verde. Okay, so that is -1. Now let us go now to another country that made up this ECOWAS, Ghana. If you go to Ghana, you are going to see Ghana, and then if you go to the religions part of this Ghana, you are going to see that the Christian, are higher in number according to them. And there are so many of the countries that don't have the religions mentioned here, for their taqiyya and the Islamic agenda. So, for example, in Nigeria, if you open Nigeria here, you will not see the percentage of Christian. You will not see the percentage of Muslims. It's just on purpose, to deceive people, because the people are beginning to understand, from our exposition, so they edited it and they removed the religious section of this particular Wikipedia. Now, let us also go to the second, to the second country that made up ECOWAS. Let us go to the second country that made up ECOWAS. When you go back here, you go to Gambia. Gambia, over 90% Muslim, as you all can see. That is also, they mentioned it here. Gambia is Muslim. So I just want you to, so that you will know why the ECOWAS have to ask Nigeria government to give billions of naira to to continue to do the agenda. Now let us go to Guinea. Guinea, if you look at Guinea here, Guinea is part of it, and if you go to the religious part of it, it is still also going to be the same thing. So when you look at these 15 countries that made up the ECOWAS, you find out, as little as the Fulanis are, they dominate this ECOWAS. Still the same thing with terrorism. They dominate ECOWAS with terrorism, they intimidate the people, and they take over the ECOWAS. So I want you to understand, in Liberia, for example, it is a little bit different, because Liberia has more of a Christian probably than the Muslim. Now we go to Nigeria. If you go to Nigeria here, you will see that in Nigeria, for example, you have, they don't have the religious part of this Nigeria. They remove it, as just as a purpose to mislead people and deceive people. That is exactly what happened here. So the Nigeria own is that, we all know the game they are playing, because this is not public. If you go here, if you come here before, you will notice that they were saying that Muslims are more in number, and when we begin to